When I saw that you were the one guy, I was actually hoping that you come with one or two savers so that we can try out something on set.
I actually have it in my car,
You,
but I didn't want.
You may be wanting to try on some sabers
Hello,
and some
come on,
ippies, but I am not. Thank you. How sharp are they?
They're not. The safety aspect of it, and when I say this, a lot of people laugh. Fencing is actually one of the safest sports, statistically proven. And why is it so safe? Like every other sport, there are risks involved in fencing if not done properly, if you don't wear the appropriate. Because of the risk involved in fencing, the amount of effort that has been put into protection is key, and they put in a lot of effort. So, for example, one of the equipment we use is actually made out of, for the international standards, made out of Kevlar, which is the same material as bulletproof. So that reduces the possibility of piercing. So there's a lot of thought that has been put into it. Even as much as the blades, when they break, they do what's called a clean break. So they can never have a jagged edge.
Okay.
So it's a very, very, very safe sport.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Ashiru.
My sport is not as safe as that. It's full contact.
How popular is your sport in Nigeria? Is it gaining popularity?
Taekwondo is very popular. It's extremely popular. The reason I know it's popular is that every single minister that I have come across and every single Director General of National Sports Commission will tell me that their child is doing Taekwondo. And the bottom line is that there is a difference between development and promotion. We've done a lot of development. The average private school in Lagos has Taekwondo. The average.
Okay. Well, I mean, how popular is it compared to judo?
No, judo is not as popular as Taekwondo.
Judo is fading now, isn't it?
I can't say it's fading. It's just that the nature of judo is such that it's difficult to have as many clubs and students as you have in Taekwondo. Judo needs to be trained indoors. It needs to be trained with mats. And how many people can afford to have a space dedicated just for that? Whereas Taekwondo, you can train anywhere. So it's easier for a school, for a government, for an organization to set up a Taekwondo class than a judo class. And I was a member of the board of judo for 4 years. So I know what it was like then when Ojikalu was president to promote judo. But Taekwondo, we have about 200,000 to 300,000 people doing Taekwondo actively all over Nigeria, in all the armed forces, paramilitary forces, all educational establishments. They all have Taekwondo officially. University games, polytechnic games, school games, youth games. So it's in the Olympics, it's everywhere. So what else is there for us to do except to start getting some media attention? Because media is what makes there are 40 sports in Nigeria, and everybody's struggling for attention. And the media is putting a lot of emphasis on football and athletics, and basketball, or the ones that Americans have promoted.
You mentioned athletics just now.
Yes.
I'm not sure that there's still a lot of pressure or spotlight on athletics because we don't really have the people that we used to have who used to make it interesting for us to follow athletics. Who are the big names now apart from Blessing Kabare? And that young man, I can't remember his name, you know, the sprinter. We don't have great names in athletics anymore.
On the other hand, in spite of that, if the Nigerian media doesn't have any Nigerian they want to focus on, they will still go and broadcast Usain Bolt and Justin Gatlin and Tyson Gates' performances. Still, when you put on the TV, you still see athletics. You don't see Taekwondo, you see athletics, regardless of whether Nigerians are involved. So the bottom line is that people don't know what we're doing because there's not enough media attention in what we are doing. But we are doing a lot of work. Just this year, for example, we've done 2 sets of trials in Taekwondo. We've done collegiate trials and the national open trials. And neither of them had media buzz. Even though we have 400 athletes, 8 countries, we didn't have media buzz. That's how we picked our athletes.
Mr. Ashiru, slow down.
Yeah, we didn't have media buzz.
When Chukwumerije was winning, there was focus on Taekwondo.
Yeah, but again...
His winning brought it to the fore.
Yeah, but again, that's not how media should work. Media should not be looking at one star to promote a sport. You promote a sport because you want to promote a sport. There are so many other stars that need attention.
Who else in taekwondo should we be focusing on?
Okay, for example, there are 4 gold medalists in the Commonwealth. How many of them do you know?
None.
Exactly.
The question I wanted to ask is, do we?
Let me just sorry to say that. Chika is a fantastic role model as an individual. He speaks well. He's well educated. He's a good poster boy for any sport, and we're very proud of him. Extremely proud of him. All right, and there are lots of other people who would like to have the opportunity to say, "Oh, I want to be like Chika. Focus on me too." And you could have a lot of that. Before you know it, they will blossom. So that's what I'm trying to say about when media over-focuses and puts a lot of burden. I'll tell you a Blessing Okagbare. I used to do athletics as a student, competitively. When the pressure is too much on an individual, psychologically, it affects their physical performance.
Now, the pressure being the pressure from the media.
Pressure of expectation?
No, the expectation of his country.
But how does he get that pressure? It's in the media. Everybody says, we're expecting Blessing. Blessing is good to Blessing. And she sits there thinking,
nerves.
Nerves come in. Everything comes in. And the president said
this. She's no longer
and
performing
said
for herself. She's performing for...
Exactly.
So 170 million
nobody
people.
wants to hear that she has butterflies in her stomach. Nobody wants to hear that she has twitches in her muscles. Everybody expects Blessing to go there and deliver every single time. However, if we had said, "Oh, Regina George, the pressure is on you this time," oh, Blessing will relax. Say, "Thank God. Let me now go and run my race while you're focusing on Regina."
And she might even do
and
better.
so on and so forth. And those are the things
Should we even be looking at individuals, or we should be looking at Team Nigeria?
Thank you. That's exactly what I was trying to say. When you look at the potentials, I have to go back to the experience that I have. When we were going to the Commonwealth Championships last year, the first time Nigeria was going to be in Commonwealth Taekwondo, our thought was, oh, well, maybe we'll pick 1 gold medal from our usual source. But when we got there, we thought, okay, there are 600 athletes from so many countries. They're human beings. They have 2 legs, 2 hands just like us. Why don't you guys go there and make your own history? And that's what happened. The unexpected people won the 4 gold medals. Because we didn't put pressure, we put not so much pressure, but hope. And they went there and they delivered. So Team Nigeria for these All-Africa Games could be a watershed. You might find all the people you expect to win medals are not the ones winning medals. It could be all the people you didn't expect who want to have their own 5 minutes of glory, who want to shake the president's hands, who want to be an MFR, MON, whatever it is. They may be the ones. That's why sometimes I sit back and think, don't make predictions anymore. Because when you predict wrong. You predict on the basis of the known stars. Yeah. And there are lots of people who might want to do well.
I was going to ask you a question when you talked about federations and the preparations that they've been making, different federations for the games, and then the elections came, and then the change of leadership, all sorts of things. I was going to ask you, is it possible that the federations can be shielded from the socio-political space, from the effects of changes in the socio-political space?
I'll give you why that's difficult. You need to go to the World Athletics Championship. Your budget is 70 million. Who's going to give you 70 million? And for you to get 70 million, you need to go through approval processes.
I didn't want to ask you what about sponsors, but now that's
but bottom line is that it's all down to the fact that sponsors themselves are not supporting sports. It is a fact. We have gone to sponsors. Some of them would tell us point blank, I don't support combat sports. Some would say we don't have buyers in your field. Yeah. We can't market our product in your area. So let's focus on entertainment, where we will get all the buzz that we need for our company name. They're not thinking about CSR. It's all down to business. It's down to dollars and cents, naira and kobo. Yeah. So last year, for example, when I organized the Korean Ambassador Championship, the Korean Embassy said, Mr. Ashu, we'll support you, but we'll support you to a certain extent. So why don't you reach out to other companies? So we went to Samsung and LG. These are 2 rivals, but the 2 of them decided to co-sponsor. Because at the end of the day, we said to them, look, this is your country's sports. It's from Korea. And if your embassy is behind it, and so they said, okay, no problem, let's see what we'll do. And the minister came and he said he was surprised. This is the first event he's been to. There are 2 rivals to support him. And 3 different organizations are partnering. So we've had to think outside of the box to get that level of support. When we had the collegiate championship, I went to meet an old friend. Can't you sponsor this? And he said, why not, Mr. President? He carried his own money and he sponsored all universities and polytechnics championship, University of Ife. We have to think outside the box. But this is small money. I'm not talking of 5 million. In order for you to be able to take a team of 16 people and 5 officials to an international tournament, you need 30 million, 40 million. And these are the tournaments where the athletes get the ranking from. So if they don't go, the ranking goes down. And the ranking goes down, nobody wants to support anyone because you don't have potential. We need to keep competing for the rankings to go up. And the government must, at the level of presidency, must begin to consider sports not as something we do for fun, but something that keeps people away from Boko Haram, keeps people away from militancy. As long as these athletes have an opportunity at the state and the federal level to showcase their talent, they won't think of alternative lifestyles.